It's halftime, and the Chicago Bulls find themselves surprisingly tied at halftime via the Denver Nuggets, despite the big runs that they've given up. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's get into it for today. Coby White has 24 points in the first half of this game. He's 8 from 10 from the field, shooting very efficiently, a 4 or 5 from three-point range. He also has 3 assists, 2 steals in this game, 1 block as well. Coby White is playing with a level of confidence that you usually see from players when they start transcending. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily happened for Coby White yet, right? But this is when you, for those that have watched players, and I mean every game, right? Like, because it's difficult if you don't watch every game of a player, right? But when you've watched a player develop every game of their career, and you start seeing that time period where they know how they can get their shot off, they know where they need to get their shot off, and they know they can get their shot off anytime that they want to, right? There's a time that I remember in Derrick Rose's second season against the Houston Rockets where he went into a zone in that game, and I was like, no, Derrick Rose is going to be a superstar, right? There was that moment of that, right? There was a time in Jimmy Butler's career where actually we were playing against the Knicks because it was against Carmelo Anthony, and he gave effort on the defensive and offensive side of the ball, and I said, nope. Jimmy's about to be a player, right? You start seeing that when you watch a player's every single game, you start realizing like they've hit that spot where whatever the best version of them is, they realize that they can do what they need to do every single game or every single possession, right? And that's where it seems like Coby's going. Now, it's coming on the back end of a season, so I'll wait and see what it looks like at the start of next season and how he finishes out the season. But Coby's starting to get to that place to where it's Coby's confidence level is at an all-time high right now. And I don't like, it's just great to see. It doesn't mean that he's going to win every possession. It doesn't mean the Bulls are going to win every game. I'm not saying that, but it just seems like whatever Coby's going to be, whether it's a star, whether it's just a damn good scorer, whatever it is, you can see that he's starting to uncover that a little bit. So, we'll see. We'll see what that holds true on. Josh Giddey is on triple-double watch as well. Not as strong of a triple-double watch in last game. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, only 2 turnovers in this one from Josh Giddey. He is our second leading scorer. Matas Bucilis has 7. Nikola Vucevic has 5. We also got 5 from Jalen Smith sighting. He's played 5 minutes, which is 1 more minute than Zach Collins has played in this game. He has 5 points. Zach Collins, not that he was necessarily playing bad, but he didn't do anything special. I'm glad to see Billy Donovan went to him. Dalen Terry. We got to start talking about Dalen Terry. I'm not here to say that Dalen's going to be like some super player or anything like that, but Dalen is also starting to be a lot more consistent over this stretch as well, right? So it's really good to see. He has not been in this mode before. See, that's the difference between a player that scores a lot and a player that's understanding how and where to get to their spots. That's very different things. And this is where it comes to being a smart basketball analyst, right? Because I'm not saying that Coby hasn't had times where he's gone off. This is the longest stretch of him scoring 20 points, over 20 or more points in a stretch in his career. But outside of that, it's how he's going about it. It's not just the output. Too many people just look at, he scored 25 before. That's not what we're talking about here. It's about when he gets the ball, how intentional he's moving. This is the most intentional you've ever seen Coby White. So no, he's not been in this mode before. Not this exact mode. No, he's not. That's just wrong. So there you go. Coby can be a star if he continues like this. He could be. I'm not, but again, I gotta see it to start a season. I got to see it more consistently before I say that. Dalen Terry has MF in the right. I mean, it feels that way. DT is starting to find his groove as well, and he's starting to be a consistently productive player. Dalen is playing like a solid role. Exactly. And that's what you can hope for Dalen Terry as of right now. He's playing very solidly right now. The leadership from Dalen is amazing, though. Saw him pushing P. Will into position on defense. Dalen, listen, here's the thing, right, with Dalen, and this has always been the thing. Dalen's been more energy than basketball IQ, right? And it's not that he doesn't have basketball IQ, but he's been more energy than that. I think as the game starts slowing down for Dalen, you're going to see him. Dalen has a chance to be a solid role player, a very solid role player. Dalen has to improve his defense, especially his off-ball help defense. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Coby was breaking down defenses last year also. Yeah, it's not about breaking. Never mind. I can see that this conversation is going up here on you, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Everything ain't meant for everybody to understand. All I want to know from Coach Donovan is, where was this coaching before? I mean, we've talked about one of Billy Donovan's Achilles' heels as a head coach is the fact that he goes heavily with the stars. He just does with the stars. And so now that you've removed that from this team, you're seeing the ball spread out a little bit more. So when everybody has an opportunity to touch the ball in the ebb and flow of the game, it's just, he's coaching really well, man. Giddey kept working his way into the game. Hopefully he comes out stronger next half. Listen, the one thing that I've learned about Josh Giddey, right, is that he's 2 for 5, but he's 6 of 8 from the free throw line, right? So that tells me that he is still in attack mode, right? He's realized today may not be a day that my jump shot. That's always the key thing with Giddey. If he realizes early that this is not a day for his jump shot and he starts attacking, that's going to usually be a really good Josh Giddey. Now, if he keeps that up in the second half, it's going to open up more passing lanes for players, and I think it'll be okay. Bulls fans are impatient. People don't realize that Coby is legitimately enter his physical prime at 25. He has figured out his game, but go to the rack when the three isn't dropping, and when he does, facts. 079 says Giddey got Jamal in foul trouble. He's doing his job. That's a big fact. Absolutely. You think it's possible for Coby to be in a position to win scoring titles at some point in the future? I mean, that scoring titles in the modern NBA mean you got to average 30 points per game. And I don't know if that's even what you want Coby to do, is average 30 points per game. I don't know if that's what you want, especially while he shares the backcourt with Josh Giddey. So I don't know if you ever win a scoring title, but he has a chance to definitely, Coby's flashing that potential to be probably a top 15 scorer in the league next year, right? That's if this continues. Coaching and growing young players into stars is Billy's. That's not what he's done, though. He hasn't done that. Shea didn't turn into a superstar under Billy Donovan. He turned into it afterwards. But he looked good, right? Billy has not developed a superstar since he's been in the NBA. He just hasn't. He inherited a team already with superstars on it. That team then moved off of one of those players they left in free agency. They were able to get Paul George in there, but Billy Donovan hasn't developed a superstar yet in his NBA career. He hasn't. Coby seems like he is in control of his game. He finds it instead of it finding him. Great to see. That's a fact. Bulls fans who bring up Coby's struggles to begin this year are happy to not acknowledge his role change, and again having Zach here still. And this is the thing that I always say. Don't get me wrong. I understand where you're coming from, but unless you're the type of 1A to where you can get your team to damn near finals contention by yourself, you have to learn how to play with another high volume player. That just is what it is. So that has to be a part of Coby White's game. Coby's going to have to eventually learn how to play with another high volume player. If the Bulls are going to, while Coby's here, ever be that team that can actually go on a playoff run. And even if you so that's just it. So I don't do that thing where it's oh, well, Zach was still here, so of course Coby wasn't going to be efficient. Well, you have to learn how to be efficient playing with somebody else. Otherwise, you're just going to be mid. So he needs to learn that, right? I'm not somebody who I look at and saying, oh, well, if you could only be efficient, and notice I'm talking about efficiency, not the scoring output. But if you can only be efficient when you're basically the main scorer, you're probably not that good. Now, I'm not saying that about Coby, but I'm saying that he has to learn, like he did it last year with DeMar, right? Because DeMar was there throughout most of Coby's really good stretches, but you have to be able to play with another high volume player if you're not a transcendent superstar. And even then, most of those guys still have to learn to play with other players that have a decent value. So that's just my personal opinion. Vooch got to take more of the push shots in the middle of the paint. He be passing with no one on him too much. That hasn't been as much of a thing this season. Well, over the second half of the season, yeah, but at the beginning he wasn't doing that. And I wish he goes back to that. Man, oh man, Giddey, Coby, Bazilis, the core. Now we need to find a big man, and we are set. I mean, we're set to probably contend for a playoffs. We're not set to be a championship team. Not yet. We can't say that yet, but we'll see. Man, I can't wait for next season. Io's going to fit just fine. It's going to be fun next season. I mean, yeah. I mean, if this run, and I'm only saying if just because I mean, save a little pessimism. But if this run at the Bull, even if the Bulls how they played over this, and I don't mean just the 8 out of 10 wins, get 8 wins out of 10 games stretch. I mean the way that they've played basically since after the All-Star break. If they can maintain that for a full season, man, that's different. Man, that's different. Man, I can't wait for next season. I already read that one. Just a young big with some legs would be great for this team. I like Zach and Jalen, but they aren't big and will always have matchup issues. I think Zach Collins is perfectly fine as a modern center. Like that's basically where you're going now. So we'll see though. We'll see what the Bulls can get. I know that Coby plants more on the left side than the right. Hopefully he unlocks that. I haven't noticed that, but I'll look for it now going forward. We definitely need a center that can move lateral. Vooch drag his feet like he got stones in his legs. No, he drags his feet like his legs are the stones. That's what he does. As a Bulls fan, you must be pessimistic about good things. It's like second nature. Yeah, it comes with the territory. Haize, do you think the Bulls will let go of Io? I don't think so. I think Io's the type of player that can fit in with just about any roster makeup. So I don't think so, but we'll see. Where did all this rim protection come from with Denver? They seem to be blocking every shot by the Bulls in the paint. They're definitely blocking a lot of shots tonight, but I mean, again, some weird things happen. They got 3 blocks on the night. 3 of them. I'm sorry, 4 of them. 4 of them. I miscounted. 4. We got 3. Can you imagine Lonzo with the second unit? Io, Jalen, and P will definitely benefit from his court leadership. Yeah, Lonzo just got to stay fucking healthy, man. That's just what it comes down to. Lonzo could do just about anything, man. Coby been getting a lot of attention, and rightfully so, as a player that has done 1-2 player of the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. He's on a crazy run right now. Like it's Coby's been playing crazy right now. You see a lot of upside for this team going into next year and think about Acme. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely a lot of upside. Rasheer Fleming and Modest will get us. No, they wouldn't. Come on, bro. You got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. There's been nothing to say that yet. Like maybe if they both develop like crazy, but there's nothing you could say that right now. I'm sorry. There's just not. There's just not. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Third quarter starting. I'll see y'all guys post game.